Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday night. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Meringolo. He's Tim Strachan.
What's going on, everybody? How's the board doing? It looks like we got like we're in like a gang or something.
It kind of does.
Colors.
Yeah, we got our own.
We're coming in a little hot tonight, gang style. Here's Kevin Ricca.
Yeah, I'm the baby blue gangster. I look raw.
You look very raw. Wait, you know what? I feel like I didn't get a chance. What's going on here?
Where's your hoodie? That's what I don't get. It's throwing me off here, man.
I'll eventually earn that on the mean streets of Kensington, but it wasn't done. Wasn't done just yet.
We are joining you from a non-sweaty Kensington basement.
No.
We're done. We're done with that.
Cold.
It's too cold for that.
cold.
Ken Harris, Greg Martin, Brett Donnelly, E.O. Henderson, AGH in the house. Nasta. Good to see you all. Happy holidays. Happy December. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Thank God it is Tuesday on the official Commanders podcast of First Amendment Sports and Hogs Haven. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do it for free right now. And if you see or hear anything you like this evening, I don't know, just click on the thumb. There's a little thumb there.
Is
Just
it
give us a
weird
little
that
thumb
I
up.
gave us a thumbs up today when I went back and listened? Because I did laugh.
That's awesome.
Okay.
I'm glad.
did.
It was earned.
We earned it. Yeah, exactly. You didn't give it to us without.
Nice
I
job.
had fun with you guys last
Nice
week.
job,
Let's
guys.
do it again.
I agree.
We're coming off a bye week, so
Best week of the season.
not coming
Best
off
week
a
of the
loss.
season.
Still technically coming off a loss. I mean,
That's true.
The losing streak continues, but it was a weekend without
I
watching.
gotta put it that way, man. I didn't
It's
lose.
true, you know. I mean, we're back in the saddle. We got the Rams. We'll talk a little Rams tonight. I think landscape in the NFL. I mean, I think like I always say that term, and I love it, but it's coming into focus, and when I taught my son how to play cards, and he's a very good card player, and he probably will be much better than me.
His name is Shark.
His name is Shark. But the first rule I ever said to him, probably before he could even understand that I was telling him something important, was if you ever sit down at a table and you can't spot the sucker at the table, you get up, you say thank you and good night to everyone else, because you are that sucker. You get the hell out of there. And if you can't find the sucker at the table, it's you. And the Commanders this year, you know, we came into this season looking around for the suckers. We saw an 0-4 Chicago Bears team. We saw the New York Giants a couple times. We were like, and then all of a sudden we're like, wait a second.
Here comes Shark Rivera.
It might be us.
Nope, it was us.
I think I just found out why I get invited to poker a lot.
Exactly. We do appreciate it. And we have
By Dylan? Is it by Dylan?
This Tuesday
he's calling
started
me to play poker.
This Tuesday started out with so much promise.
He's got a regular game going on in this exact house.
He's here on Wednesdays. I had no idea. Damn it.
Or am I? I don't know.
So,
I've never seen
Maybe
it.
I could be setting it
We're
up.
the sucker at the table. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
this season
what I'm
it's
saying
coming
is
to
if-
focus.
You want me to come play poker? I'll come play poker.
He will.
And we've been the sucker.
Yeah, we're striving for it to be anyone else all season long, and at a certain point in time, you got to look in the mirror and call it like it is. We're 4-win team that has bad losses. You know, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
so that's what it's all about. So we can talk about where we stand in the landscape of the NFL. I thought Rhett made a good point earlier today. You know, most of us, I know, I did watch, two games last night. Those are 2 4-win teams that won last night, and it's trying to
It was
imagine.
beautiful.
It is. If 2 4-win teams played like that, I mean, I like to think that we're certainly a 4-win team, but are we beating the Packers? Are we beating the Dolphins? Well, we just played the Dolphins. So, anyways, I think that we can start to really digest all those like draft orders. In September and October when they're giving you projected draft orders and they're saying you're going to be picking in the top 10, you're like, F off. Like we have some winnable games coming up. We'll be right in our normal spot at 15 to 17. No, we're going to be in the top 5.
I hope we're in the top
Yeah,
5.
Me too.
I mean, teams like the one yesterday keep winning. We're going to get there. But, I mean,
And the Bears for that matter.
I just real quick, in Rivera's era, how many wins does he have against winning teams?
And you know the answer.
I do know
How
the
many
answer.
wins
How many? I know what the
Total.
record is for the board. We'll come back to this. 10
Yeah.
minutes. Don't go count them all up. It won't take long.
He has like 20 something. Well, in it's just 4 seasons. He is. I mean, he was 70, 50. I mean, you're talking about 20-ish wins in 4 years, I think, roughly speaking. So, right?
I'm just talking about our expectations.
And how many of those were against
especially in
decent
the
teams?
basement, especially you and I this year,
Yeah.
even almost including T, although we were the egregious ones. Yeah, I don't know what the expectations have been, but do I say it?
Let me guess.
Yeah,
You
give it-
said 20?
No. I'm trying to think of how many total wins he has, and so how many of those were against winning teams. So I'm going to say 4.
4.
I mean, I think that's pretty low, and it's probably too high.
Speaking of too high,
I'll say 6.
6. All right, it's 7.
Okay, all right. Thank
7.
you.
3.5 years. 7
7.
wins against winning teams. 7, 25, and 1. And 1.
Wow. That's and we haven't been. I mean, we haven't. And how many total wins does he have?
This Tuesday started off with so much promise.
I'm sorry. Let's keep it moving. But my
No,
point is this.
this is true stuff.
The expectations of the last 4 weeks for me, I'm like, wait a minute.
You had some?
Hold on. No, but I, I
we
can see
did.
Sam going out there and putting a 4-burger on somebody just because.
Yeah.
I just don't see us getting enough pressure on anyone. Listen, I'm not making any excuses whatsoever. We still have good players on the edge, but we don't have great players on the edge. And I thought we had borderline great guys out there. And,
Yep.
I think they'd be playing a bit differently right now. Had we did have those 2 guys, I think anyone would agree. But so what? Who cares? Let's go out and watch them have fun. But it's a little different watching the Giants come together somehow. That was just shocking to watch both those games unfold last night. It
was crazy.
Yep.
It was. I was like, all right. And at the end, I'm not doing the draft shit yet, but I'm like, oh, okay, well,
Exactly.
that could help in 4 weeks
It's where the
when the
chips fall.
season's over. And
Yeah.
I don't do this till the end, but you know what? I'm sitting there rooting for teams because why not? Let's tighten this thing up. Let's let this whole NFL, let's let everything be unheard of. This is nuts, man.
Let's stay in the top.
The amount of 6 and 7 and
Stay in the
7 and
top
6
5.
teams it's unbelievable. I think it's like a dozen. It's the mediocrity is insane.
It's a huge middle class. The middle class is gigantic, and also, I mean, the Giants have to play Philadelphia twice, and I think Philadelphia is going to have to want to win both of those games. I'm guessing for seeding purposes.
Yep.
So
Oh,
that's
yeah. They
not
just
good
went
for
to
Giants.
5th.
Yes.
What's that? Yeah, yeah.
fifth.
So they're not looking to rest anybody, I don't think, unless they really need
Philly,
Jalen to rest.
Apparently, I mean, you can take a peek at that. What Dallas has left is brutal. So it's
They got Miami. They got.
I don't have.
Don't they have Miami? They have to play. I know they have.
They
to
got a
play
tough
them.
schedule. I know that. I know
they played Detroit.
I have all the turds written down here. As I say, I'm not doing draft stuff. I'm looking at
Yeah.
all the inverted schedule.
Yes. Yes. Um,
Dumb. 1 and 5.
So you mentioned Sam Howell. That was something I came prepared to talk a little bit about tonight. Also, like I think I'm not trying to like find all the
came
positives.
prepared?
Well, I'm not. I don't have like a thing to check off like all the good stuff that's been. But but in the context of looking at the league as it stands at the moment, everybody's had their bye. Every quarterback has played. That's healthy. That's at the top of the leaderboard has played the same amount of games, and so you can start to make comparisons. I mean, not that you couldn't before, but the notion that when Sam Howell was the leading passer, but C.J. Stroud had a bye week, obviously. So right now, everyone's played all their games. Tua has got 3,700 yards. C.J. Stroud's about 50 yards behind him. Then you got Brock at 3,550. And then Dak and Sam Howell are neck and neck for 4th and 5th. Now, I thought to myself, all right, so the talk, obviously, in this basement and in many basements around the Commanders Nation is let's get that left tackle. Let's get that top tackle prospect. Not because we don't think Caleb Williams is a great player, but because we think we have a quarterback. We're happy to continue on with our quarterback, and we need.
I don't know if I necessarily believe all that.
Really? You would think?
Yes.
What do you mean? You don't think Sam Howell is the guy?
I do.
Okay.
But I don't think you can just take a guy that you think could be your guy and just turn your back. Where are they both going to be in 3 years? How about that?
Caleb and Sam?
Yes. Where are they going to be in 3 years? Where do you think they're going to be? And I think one of those guys has already outsurpassed anything I thought he could do, and is going to be a heck of a player. I think one of them might be a generational first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And in 3 years, if that guy's coming into his own, wow. And you're now paying, and then you have 3 more years left heading into year 3 on a rookie contract. That has to be discussed. That has to be understood.
So he has to
You can't just be like, well, Sam Howell's better. I think that's incredibly
we have to be number one to get Caleb Williams.
nearsighted. Of course.
I don't think we're getting. I'm sorry.
But-
inherent in my conversation, I'm talking about like Drake May or Jaden Daniels.
I do not want.
Those are the 2 guys. I don't think
I
we're
want
getting
to
Caleb.
tackle like everybody else.
You're only
I'm just not
tantalized by Caleb if he's available.
I wouldn't be against making a move
I see.
But like a trade up.
I wouldn't hate
Okay.
it, but I wouldn't
for
want to
Caleb
do it.
Williams.
I wouldn't
Absolutely.
make the decision.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't make the decision to take him because I do think we have the most important piece. And I'm not saying he's better than Caleb. I say he is good enough to be a starting quarterback in this league, and we know it. And we know he can get better.
I agree with that.
And we can build around him better if we don't have Caleb here.
Why better? He has 2 more years on a rookie deal, then he's getting paid. Caleb, we're going to have for 5 years.
True.
But obviously, this is all crazy.
Who's going to protect Caleb? You know what I mean?
Well, obviously you have to make moves, and obviously you have to protect him.
Okay.
But I just can't think you can't just be like, oh, we got Sam Howell. We have Sam Howell for 2 more years. He might say, F you guys. I hate it here.
Well,
I want to go somewhere else.
Maybe a lot of people are trying to get out of here.
So.
If Chicago is the number 1 pick because they get Carolina's
I don't want to
pick,
get into a whole thing. I'm just saying we can debate this moving forward.
That's what I'm saying. If Chicago is the number 1
conversation.
pick because they have Carolina's pick, Carolina's only got 1 win. So right now they're the odds-on favorite to be the worst team in the league, and that pick belongs to Chicago. Right now, Justin Fields is making Chicago's life very, very good. I think he's playing his balls off, and they could do a number of things. They could keep him and say, hey, he's our guy going forward, or they could be the guys who say, hey, you know what, we can get something for Justin Fields and take Caleb Williams. So they're going to be sitting in that catbird seat, and they're going to be choosing between their own franchise guy they drafted.
I agree, and I don't think it's much of a choice.
Yeah, you got to take
I'm
Caleb
with Ken.
for Chicago.
I don't think there's a choice. I don't think it's going to be a choice, which is why the whole time I've said left tackle. Olu.
I am all in on that too, dude.
Of course,
you know I am.
So I don't want this to be a draft where we have to do a deep dive. I'd like to know pretty much from the get-go.
Well, if we're drafting that high, we will.
Right.
So, but here's the thing. So I was talking, let's assume that Caleb is off the table just for a moment, and that Sam Howell becomes the guy. So I was looking at, I saw, that he has, let's say, 3,500 yards passing with 4 games to go. And I thought to myself, all right, so what? So we're a 4-win team. How much do you want to put into a guy who's putting up these kinds of numbers? And so I look back, so his overall all-time Redskins franchise, all-time, the number 1 passing year was
91.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. He had 4,900 yards in 2016. Kirk Cousins has 3 of our top 4 years. Yeah. But the difference between Kirk Cousins 1 and Kirk Cousins 2 is 4,900 and 4,100. And it's very conceivable that Sam Howell can get 600 yards in 4 weeks. It's not a sure thing. But so if that's true, then he would be the second highest passing yards in the history of our organization. Now that's something, and we could talk about what that is. But it makes
I can tell you right now what that is. In the last 30 years, this game has changed incredibly.
No,
incredibly
of course.
well.
But we've still sucked out loud,
and we've had the worst quarterbacks throughout that specific time slot.
Yes.
And sorry everybody, but that's a tough one. I love all the numbers. I do.
We get a guy who
you're
performs,
right, and he's earned that. But man,
sacked the most times of everyone of all time. Already, he has the most sacks in the history of anyone on our team. So touchdowns, he has 18 touchdowns. Most touchdown passes in one season belongs to?
Most touchdown passes in one season? It's got to be ripping.
That's why I said 91.
It's got to be then Cousins. RG3?
No.
Hell no.
I know he ran a million.
Brad Johnson?
Negative.
No, it's going to go back in time. It's Sonny.
Yes, it's Sonny. Sonny had 31 touchdown passes in 1967.
Well, there goes your theory about this game being more advanced.
Well, but that's look at our franchise. Look at everyone
Yes.
else's numbers. It is. We've been throwing rocks out there. They forgot to tell us that there's a TDY with
Driving
leather
the
on
games
it.
with their feet.
I'm comparing
Oh
our
my
guys to
God.
our guys. Now, I'm not even worried about the rest of the league anymore. I'm just saying, like, this is what we get to watch. We
The
actually get to watch.
forward pass was
Yes.
broken by the Washington franchise.
Kirk Cousins, number 2 with 29. In fact, tied with Joe Theismann for number 2 with 29. Rippin with 28. Jurgensen again with 28. So Sam Howell's got 18. And he's not, as of late, throwing for a ton of touchdown passes. But let's say in 4 weeks, he gets, 6. He becomes a top 10 all-time single-season touchdown passer in his first full season. I mean, I think it's possible for him to climb a little higher, but I'm not going to get too crazy, nor does it truly matter. His interceptions, most interceptions thrown by a Redskin
Oh man, well,
ever. It's a tough one, but it's a big name, but it's an
Sure.
old name. No, he's
Billy Kilmer,
no. It's Norm Snead,
effing Norm.
followed closely by
Norm.
Sammy Ball, one of the
I knew
all-time
Sammy
greatest.
because he had he threw the most and intercepted the most. I think in the same season.
Norm Snead has
He
3
caught
of the top 5.
He caught the most interceptions and flung the most, I think. Which that's I love that stat. I think I might have held that in conference a couple times.
That's pretty strong.
That's pretty good. One year I definitely did. My junior year.
Rex
I kept
Grossman's in
I
there.
kept throwing it to everybody else.
Hey, but you know what?
He threw me one. Thanks, Steve.
You're welcome.
You got it.
Ralph Guglielmi in 1960. Anyways,
Googs.
Sam Howell is already climbing that list in a way he does not want to. He's got, I believe, 14 interceptions.
Yeah, that number will
As
be
of late,
sliced in
hadn't
half.
been too bad.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so, all right. So, completion percentage. Now this is a tough one because you got to go down. Now, obviously, Todd Husak is up there at 100%.
These are Santana Moss.
Yeah, yes.
He's like 3 for 3, I think.
I want to say that. I mean, obviously, I think the easy one is the easy one, the most accurate regular passer that we ever
We're
had.
doing passing percentage.
Yeah, completion percentage.
See, keep an eye on him. If
Yes.
I have to hold him, you might have to pull the mask off.
And I would have got away with it too. Kirk Cousins, just under a shade under 70%. He's a very accurate quarterback. Sammy Ball is right up there at 70%. Kyle Allen, RG3. It's unbelievable but true. So Sam Howell has a little ways to go, but Sam Howell's he's in the mid to upper 60s. He's 66%. Again, the only reason why I bring his stats up is because he's almost got a full season under his belt. Quarterbacks are all about production. I think you have to grade them on wins as well. They play a huge part in it. But I also don't think Sam Howell's lost us too many games, and I think his production, from a starting standpoint, historically for our franchise, is coming into focus, and he's going to be at the top of the board on a lot of these lists, and some of it's a product not just of the era we play in, but also of the system where he gets to throw 500 times.
We throw more than everybody.
Everybody,
Because we stink
Yes.
at running the football.
Yes.
And
it's definitely a better, a funner brand of suck in terms of like getting to watch like a guy ball out, even though we're not sniffing wins. But
sucking and sniffing.
Sucking
every
and
third word. Every third word. I'm telling you.
write it down.
I
Circle
don't
the
want it.
third
Last
word.
time I wrote like 7 terrible words down. My kids saw it in the morning.
Daddy, what's sucking? Sniff?
We don't say Mr. Merengolo's code words around here.
Those are safe words, honey.
No, they're not, honey.
No, they're not. All right. So, anyways, all that point being, I hope the board was. I saw them playing along in the home game of
Cranberry.
Cranberry. I don't think we are in a position to, we won't be in a position to take Caleb. I don't think, unless we, give away a ton. So like that, unless there's any other thoughts on Sam Howell.
No, I think you nailed it. Huge. You got it.
Nice.
You got it.
Speaking of Eugene Chen, So, all right. So,
Mid-50s. Very private about
mid-50s.
his personal background. We don't have much else on him.
We're working on it, though.
He is. Let's just say he's not getting a lot of Tinder swipes.
He's not, and
Jesus. I guess there goes that guest appearance.
Well, I mean, I'm just talking about the way we've
I
talked
was
about
really
him.
hoping to get him on.
well, I don't think it's out of the question, that he would try to raise his Tinder swipe profile by coming on our show. I think it's a perfect opportunity. Just get right to the.
As long as he wears a hoodie and a mesh
audience.
hat, he's good to go.
So there you go. How much do you need an engraved invitation, Eugene? For God's sake, let's get on the show.
Bring your mesh hat.
Yeah, bring your mesh hat. What was that from? What?
I think I've just heard from Eugene Chen's people. He feels sexually threatened.
And if you're Eugene Chen, you know one thing. Eugene Chen does the sexual threatening. He does not get sexually threatened. So how dare you, sir?
Oh, would have been a great show.
He's definitely got the calculations on that. Correct.
Yeah, he knows the angle to come. Correct. All right. So forget about Sam Howell.
Hey guys,
How
if he
about-
gets on the show, please don't say.
Yes, don't worry. Trust me, he's not watching. Don't worry, we haven't got a single thumbs up from any of that. All right, so how about this? We like broached the topic of
How the fudge do you do that?
broach.
Yeah. How do I broach you?
It's like a light boil, maybe like like a soft boiled
Okay.
broach.
Okay. I shouldn't have asked.
Yeah.
So what were we talking about? I apologize to all of us.
Brunch. Now you got me thinking about brunch, but let me just move on. All right. The
Brunch,
idea of the new GM coming in and making some surprising / it's my team now kind of moves. I hate we're not going to do the sports radio thing. Like, what do you think? Would you be mad if they
Please.
traded him? But the one question that I have in my mind is, and we're not doing what we did last week because we already did it. So the one question I have in my mind is,
2 bullets dodged. The third one's coming quick. Go ahead.
if you wanted to make a move in this draft, are you willing to give up something really good? Like, so forget about Caleb Williams, but let's say you want to get back in and get a Brock Bowers or another offensive lineman.
Like in the middle or
Yes,
top half
yes,
of the first
like
round.
between 10 and 15, 10 and 17, somewhere like where we normally draft. Because a guy like Brock Bowers is still there, or a guy like, or one of the top 4 tackles is still there, and you want to go bookends in the first round just because, obviously, I don't think you want to get moved back up in there for a wide receiver, but maybe a cornerback is there that you desperately want, or for that matter,
Bowers
safety.
or an edge rusher.
I'm just saying it's going to cost you something good
But
to do that.
I don't know.
And I forget about what it is.
know.
You got to be willing
Everything
to give
else
something
we
to get
have
something.
left is we can't take any more from the line, the defensive
This
line.
dude from UCLA is a freak, nasty monster dog. Latu. I watched him play against USC, and he was uncontrollable. He did whatever he wanted. He was a man amongst boys. He was ridiculous. I'm not saying we need that or want that or blah, 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 but he's the type of guy that's good. That's good. Oh, my God. I just
It's
got
pickling
shammed.
season. It's pickling season.
It is pickling season, but
There's all of a sudden a hard stop on this show. This is
good God.
We like to call this. It's like
everyone can
a
see
fuse
this.
has been lit that can't be unlit.
I can't.
ticking time
I can
bomb,
only,
really, at
Only
this
on
point in
special
time.
occasions. I can't.
I will say Redbreast is spectacular, and this time of year it's even better. And
A little bit
oh man,
Splashdown. Russian judge
Actually,
gave me
we're
a.
having a cocktail draft. Man,
We are having a cocktail
I
draft.
might have to have one.
No, but don't worry. We got you covered.
I got
Have Rhett go get the glass.
Where can get you a glass?
I got something for you too. I got a hot
Okay, I don't like that.
A
I
hot
don't
toddy?
like the sound
hot
of that.
tot. I do. I got a hot apple caramel toddy.
Nice.
It's hot. It's yours.
That could
Whenever
be-
you want it.
It's hot.
It's real hot.
That can be. It's too hot in the hot tub.
Jump back, gonna drink myself. We still talking?
That's a Yeah, we're still talking. That
What you
is
do on a podcast?
LSU wide receiver is
Shit.
legit but easy top 10. Andrew B.
You know, I would
He
really
is.
love like a badass wide receiver with Terry, like
Yeah.
a bat like
And Jahan. I mean, you put. I mean, I'm saying the two of them with.
Jahan needs to do some more Jahanning before he can get all Jahani. if you
No,
know what
but I'm saying if you draft a badass guy and you put the badass guy with Terry
yes,
and Jahan,
yes,
you're doing
yes,
pretty damn
that's
good.
fair. I just get so jealous watching A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith back and forth, Jalen Waddle and the freak.
Tyreek. Yeah.
You're like, what, the double jeopardy of it all is impossible. Someone's got single coverage. You can't. If you play someone in the slot, you can't just double both of these dudes and play normal NFL defense. And that seems to be where this is heading. And we don't seem to have a guy that's pulling that side of the weight. And people, I don't doubt Terry McLaurin's abilities, but you know what? I don't doubt Devontae's or any of those other four we just talked about. They're starting to put ones with ones.
There's a half a dozen at least that are way far ahead of where Terry is.
I agree.
Terry's great.
I agree. I'm not going to argue that. I think Terry could be even better if paired up with someone that was pulling their weight. Because I think Terry is getting an onslaught of defensive attention every week. They know who our best freaking
And we're
guy is.
trying to go to him, so we're wasting
trying.
time in the pocket looking to get to the ball.
It's very frustrating
Yes.
way to run offense, and we're doing a pretty decent job of it. But red zone style, we certainly could use a big one out wide.
And even, I mean, the same could be said when a legitimate upgrade at tight end accomplishes a lot of the same thing.
And I like Logan.
Sure.
It's just shit, man. We're gonna save a ton of money if we do cut him. There's not a lot of guys like him, but is he gonna lack? Can he possibly?
You have to.
The risk is crazy.
You got to go after and also the new guy. What was his name? Hold on, I wrote it down. Eugene Shen.
Oh.
His number one things is go get tight ends in the draft. So that's I like like
Is that also on his Tinder profile?
it is. It's tight ends and running backs.
Definitely.
He said if there's
Totally
a running
is
back
now, Timothy.
I didn't know you could find so
he
much.
said
about
go
one
get
person.
them. Go get tight ends. Go get
spot.
running backs. Do not wait for them to fall to you in the draft. That is one of his core tenets. I mean, it sucks that I probably would be hard pressed to be in position to take Brock Bowers. Obviously, he's a stud and he's a next level.
He's
dude.
a game changer.
Yeah, he's a game changer, and but like that's the kind of guy that comes into the league. One of those guys comes into the league almost every year. But look, you look in the league right now and you see like Sam Laporta, Jake Ferguson, some of these young tight ends that can make an impact right away. And you can get one of those guys in the middle to late first round, even at the top of the second round. If you're lucky. I mean, everyone thought Michael Mayer, the guy from Notre Dame, was going to be that guy, but he's more of a traditional, bruiser who can also catch. He's not going to Travis Kelce it up. I think we'd all agree if you get an AJ Brown, you take him over a game changing tight end. Obviously, he's just a stud, Deebo Samuel type of just alpha male who can just do everything at any time. That's who you want. But I do believe, and we'll come back to this. I do believe that our front office is going to be aggressive with tight ends in this draft and running backs in next year's draft.
Well,
Great.
all right.
Just saying. Hey, okay,
Here
see you
we
guys next
go.
week. Everybody,
All
have a
right.
great week.
Yes.
Happy Festivus. We'll see you next Tuesday
I
night.
thought we were
They're
doing
not
that
even
next
here.
week.
How do you know what they're gonna do?
What's that? Hello, it's a little something called Eugene Shen. He's an open book. Kevin's been poring over his Tinder profile all week. He knows it all. He told you, who do you think told me all
I
this?
think I was just put on a list of some sort. I no longer am allowed to type in U. I can't even type in the EU anymore. So,
you
thanks
just
a
type
lot.
an E.
Does Eugene's
like-
restraining order on you have anything to do with how much you're allowed to talk about him? Or it's just a
No.
physical distance thing?
It's First Amendment sports, dog. We can say whatever we want.
All right.
The restraining order is the square root of some shit that no one can figure out yet. And he's just sitting back there chuckling.
We're in an undisclosed location.
Until the draft talk comes out and he's going to burst through that door and kick someone's ass. I got a feeling.
Can't wait till Eugene's in this basement. I really
Eugene's
can't.
coming in the basement. To the basement. To the basement, Kevin. God, just take it easy, everybody. That's everybody. Just take a
Swipe
deep
left.
breath. Deep breath. All right, so we talked a little bit about
Eugene.
draft.
Can we just
Eugene.
not do this? Like,
We talked a little bit about-
We cannot not do it. You know that as a group, it's just not. It's going to be so
I
bad.
know, it makes me just want to say, you know what? Let's just do it. There she is.
All right.
Team Mom on the screen. Just keep us in line. All right, so forget about personnel for a momento. News in Redskins land. Not the best news for people like the previous Ken Meringolo, who went to every game for such a long time. Raising ticket prices. It's an interesting time to announce a ticket price hike. Typically, I'd just say
There's never a great time.
There's never a good
as a
time.
fan of this team.
Yes.
There has not been a great time since
It's like,
2012 ish.
when do you do it?
Yeah.
I mean, you just keep waiting for them to put the double-digit win total together.
But you know he was gonna. It was part of the.
If you pay $6.5 billion bucks for something, I mean, guess what?
Exactly.
The cost of poker just went up.
Exactly. That's. I didn't think about it, but when I read it, I was like, well, that's about right.
Yeah. So you know what? And you know what? To be honest with you, he could, as long as they do it right, and he just hasn't shown a propensity to do it wrong yet. Put a little bit of hike in there, and you can hold that. I mean, people hold prices for quite some time. People are going to pay 2-year deals, 3-year deals, 5-year deals, 10-year deals. You're going to get your money. So there might not necessarily be consecutive, multiple price hikes. But you know what? Just rip the Band-Aid off. Be like, hey, we're raising prices. I mean, if I'm him and we're listening, part of when I heard him, I was like, you know what? Make those Eagles and Giants and Cowboys fans pay more to come to the stadium. You know what I mean? Make that 20,000 Dolphin fans, make them pay more. You know
Ken
what I mean?
Meringolo, you're cold as ice.
Make them pay more if they're gonna roll in.
Horrible thought
On a regular basis,
but true.
Yeah, charge them. And keep, as much as it's easy for me to say now that I'm not going to games regularly, but I would say the strategy should be raise the price until only Redskins fans are willing to pay the cost.
Would it be illegal to charge dirty little milker prices to away fans and Harris prices to home
How
fans?
would you do that?
Well, they're so arrogant,
Yeah.
and so narcissistic. They're going to still rock their team's colors. They're not going to not. They're not going to put anything burgundy and gold on. That's true.
If you show up to the ticket office on game day, you have a certain price.
Get in line. Because there's a little picture of the dirty little milkers, little feet kicking from the store. It's my favorite. Yeah, I'm so sad.
I like it.
Is that if it was legal, it'd be great.
So what they can do, and Leonsis did this for Caps playoff tickets multiple times, is he put a area code identifier on the incoming orders for tickets. So for playoff tickets, for example, he knew they just so we're clear, they did not sell to those people because they had the ability to say
What
we're
about
just,
the poor Caps fan that lives in West Virginia or Pennsylvania?
no, he's fucked.
He's got to call. He's got to call a friend.
He's gotta
phone in a friend.
Yes, he's
Yeah.
got to be
Well,
patched through.
that's less messed up than the other way, though.
Three-way call me. So they were not selling to area codes in Pittsburgh and surrounding areas, and so there is a way to identify that stuff.
That's ludicrous.
It is. But until they speaking of those teams, are you guys? How many more games, less games, same games will you go to if Caps and Wizards or Potomac Yard versus the phone booth?
It's not going to be any different.
Won't be any more for sure.
Okay.
I can't imagine.
I don't go to many
less.
these days, anyways. But
It's not going to change one bit. for
Okay.
me. Possibly want my 1 to 2 trips a year, if any.
yeah,
Maximum of 2, minimum of 0, average
Okay.
of 1. Going to be at both places.
I'm on the same train at this point in time. I obviously there was a period of my life where I was down there all the time. Ewald and I would hang out on F Street and buy scalp tickets for every single game when Gilbert, Karan, and Antoine were playing. It was awesome.
So yeah,
But-
that's a good point because I work downtown.
Yeah.
I'm not in the office anymore much. When I was, it was always an option.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be an option if I was working downtown and it's in Potomac Yard.
Yeah.
Just because
And dude, it's longer. It takes longer to get there.
I'm going away from home.
You're going away. You're going way away from. And that drive home. I mean, it's not like it's around the Beltway.
At the final horn, you are far as hell
Yeah.
from home.
Yes.
that.
Yes. No. It's tough. It becomes more of a destination experience for people like us. I'm excited for people that live closer to that, I guess. When they put FedEx Field in Landover, I was excited because it's not that far from here. It's not the easiest drive because there's a lot of congestion and traffic, but but they put a shitty stadium in it with a shitty, they made it shitty because that's what they did. And so you know what? So I kind of gotten over like
We're gonna make this shitty.
we're going to shitty it up. So I kind of got over like they're just not going to put a stadium in my backyard that works perfectly. And we both drove to Sheriff Road, for a high school semifinal game. And on the way there, I think we were informed that there was a shooting 1 block away from where we were in Landover. And again, these are problems that the owners are facing. Ted Leonsis had 27 cops, 27 DC police officers were dedicated to his operation on game nights surrounding the arena. I read somewhere that like last year was like 3.
Yeah.
And Leonsis is like, F that.
2 weeks ago, there was a shooting on this street. For God's sake, I mean,
Well,
it's
it was.
tough out here.
It was.
Well, that's legitimately.
He was no wait.
True.
I believe when the investigation
There's
comes
a
back,
shooting victim on this street.
they will determine he wasn't actually shot on this street. He was shot before he got on the street. He was driving, and I believe, like when they really was like, I believe when the autopsy
serious,
report comes
Clark?
back. Yeah. He was
Nice.
he died of a gunshot that was incurred not on the street. He was already shot. He was
I didn't
pre-shot.
know. I didn't know. Anyways,
It's like old school when Mitch was like, I believe when the autopsy report comes back, they will determine that he died of natural causes. It's possible that he died of natural causes. We don't know. Is everything until just let the you know what? Actually, to be honest with you, I should have led with my line that I give to Megan on a regular basis, and that is that I can't comment on an ongoing investigation. I just can't do it. Can't comment on an ongoing investigation. I'm sorry, Megan. I wish I could give you the answers that you're looking for. I appreciate the questions, but I can't comment on an ongoing investigation.
Can I use that?
Yeah, you need to on a regular basis. She's always like, oh, God. All right, fine. Okay, so let's mix in what we came to talk, and no pun intended. I don't want to leave any of the stats or research on the sidelines, but I want to kind of mix in a little holiday talk.
I got nothing.
We said we were going to have 2 drafts coming up. We got a draft tonight of holiday cocktails, and we got a draft next week, which is a draft / airing of grievances. Now, we're going to take turns airing our grievances, and I think what I would like to do, and I think Martha's had her time. She's going to come off the street. What I'd like to do is come up with a little bit of a focus. I think that we can spend, I think each round should have a different theme. That's what I think. But that should be decided
Like
amongst
round 1 sports, round 2
Yeah.
politics, round 3
whatever. I think that I think the airing of grievances should be themed per round. I'd like to pick some people from the board to participate, and I'd like to give more than just one person a chance to participate. I know Greg's the big Festivus guy. I know Ken Harris is as well. I think there he is right now. He just already said Festivus has begun. It sure has, Ken. It has begun in earnest. So I would like to give folks who show up next Tuesday night a chance to participate in the airing of grievances, a Festivus tradition, Festivus for the rest of us. Tonight is holiday cocktails. I prepared a couple of graphics, not the most graphically inclined basement as we've seen. So if we pick drinks that I've pre-selected in my, whatever.
Your thingy?
My thingy. I'll throw it up there. But for the most part, so here's what I'm going to suggest. A 3-round format, and we'll go more if we got it.
I like that.
And I'm going to give Kevin the lead off. We're just going to come right on down the line. And then T, you get 2 in a row at 3 and 4.
Well, you know where I'm heading. It's my favorite drink, not just of the holidays. I think you guys know me well enough to know that it gets that day drinking. It gets you through the gap into the night so effortlessly. Just a great transitional cocktail. The Irish coffee I like to make. I make the Irish cream at home myself. It's spectacular. A little Irish whiskey.
Yep.
And man, sweetened condensed milk, some heavy cream, a little half and half, a little vanilla extract, caramel or chocolate powder, and you're off to the races. It's their old school Red Bull and vodka, guys.
I didn't have an Irish coffee
Ken, I'm
picture.
so
Are you
sad.
serious?
Well, because
Yeah,
I got this. Okay, so I had a list and it was on it. Okay, so it was my number one pick
Well,
too.
you're now on a list yourself.
I
so-
know.
If it's your
I
number
know.
one pick, why would you have a picture?
Because I got distracted by Rhett at like what time was it, Rhett? Like 7.
Don't answer that question, Rhett.
Yeah, I got distracted by Rhett. I'm blaming Rhett.
All right. Well, you guys know the Irish coffee is my go-to. It's my number one.
All right,
Good pick.
I'm gonna. Listen. I knew that was coming off the board number one, and so I have to go with my standby, which is for the most part. And let's go. Let's get over to our board. How about this? I'm just gonna throw it up here. It's just a glass of whiskey.
That looks like Harry Wilson's
He's gonna go
glasses.
It
Straight
says
up.
Harry Wilson. Just Jameson straight up. I just love Irish whiskey.
Who's Harry Wilson?
I don't know. I was on the Jameson site and this glass of Harry Wilson. I have no idea who
You
Harry
just
Wilson
whip
is.
out a glass of Harry Wilson and not have a.
I wish I had a
explanation.
great story. Actually, to be honest with you, Harry Wilson is a friend of mine. His name is Harry, and so anyways, I think having a glass of just straight brown
Have
whiskey.
you had too many straight up whiskeys tonight? Are you losing
No.
your thought?
No, I'm buying time. I'm vamping.
Hey,
For
Kevin's
my
just
man.
getting-
There's no glass.
Give
we're
me a
looking for
glass.
some glasses.
Oh, he was looking for a glass.
Yeah, he was looking for a glass. I know. That's why I threw a picture up
You
on the
might have
board.
to go just straight from the lines, straight from Harry
Glass right
Wilson's
here.
mouth.
Oh yeah. I got cups right here. Oh, you know what?
Dude,
Oh,
You
yeah.
just went straight-
That's our glass.
straight
That's our
whiskey.
glass. First known in sports.
Nice.
Is it chipped?
Did you just pick straight whiskey? Sorry, I got up.
Yeah. Okay. So my second pick, my first overall pick is straight whiskey. Sorry,
That's a great choice. It's
That's your first overall.
my first overall pick is a glass of Irish whiskey. A glass
this time
of Irish
of year,
whiskey.
I maul Irish whiskey, and it's
So,
all due
AGH
to this
with
basement.
the explanation. Harry Wilson is a Welsh international soccer player. God, it works. It works because I love the Welsh. Naturally speaking, I love them.
GH.
Well, you love him so much you stole his glass and
I
put it on
stole
your
his glass.
podcast
It just-
like a creep.
Our podcast,
Whatever.
mostly your fault.
Well, Kevin, it would be appropriate to pour that right now
Very good.
because
very
my
good.
number one is going to be spiced cider. Just
I had a
simple.
spiced wine,
And,
but
and when
not
you
spiced
say
cider.
holidays, this could go all. I can reach back to Halloween, which is where I traditionally drink the spiced cider.
Hot,
You can
still
go
hot.
rum or
Ken.
whiskey.
It's very hot.
You can go rum or
Wow,
whiskey.
That's so warm.
Some
Yeah,
call it
these-
a grog, but you call it a hottie toddy. But there's,
Oh, there was a grog picture I didn't
So
do.
that has a little lemon and honey in it
I got it.
with the apple
And the apple caramel,
the caramel apple
caramel
cider.
apple
Yes.
is also
Take a little bit.
Yes.
a little throw in, a little extra kick
You want some, you can drink. You can just
for
drink
those
from the thing.
caramel lovers out there. So
That's good.
I am one of those.
this is
caramel
my
lovers.
number one holiday, and it's
Cheers.
good for cheers. It is good for
Cheers, sir.
Halloween.
go.
It's good for what ails you. Is
Thanksgiving,
what it is. Look, you can see the steam
Christmas,
coming up. It's like the frozen
Hanukkah,
tundra of a Green Bay. It's like the
Festivus.
ice bowl.
Mm.
Look at that.
New Year's. You can have it at any part of the season. Any part of the season. So that's my number one.
It is it's a great
It's
a
like
great
drinking apple crumble.
it is. Yeah, I can only do one or two.
and
Yeah.
because
or 10 at the most.
Or no, but if you just put a shit ton of whiskey in there.
Yeah. No.
You can't taste it.
and
You can't taste
because
it.
I knew you would take Irish coffee first. If you went before me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a little twist on it and get the Bailey's hot chocolate.
The naughty Swiss Miss.
I also read today if you put a little bit of mint, like the mint peppermint
Yeah.
in it, it's called a Rumple Snuggler.
So my biggest problem with
know.
pulling up graphics for
I'm not a
today.
mint
I've
guy.
seen that.
I don't like
I've
the,
seen
I
the
don't like the
Rumple Snuggler,
peppermint,
but
but
I also
I
watched
saw
Rumple
these names.
Foreskin by accident in college, so
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm out on that.
No, it's. I mean, because you're trying to follow a story. You're I saw the first two. I need
It wasn't Disney.
the trilogy.
This was not Netflix and chill stuff. It was flip phones.
I need
and
the oven mitt
It is. It's warm, dude.
Well,
it's
I know it's still be
warm.
hot.
This is gonna be good for the
these
green
hydro
room.
flasks.
break the glass.
These hydro flasks are legit.
It's gonna be good for the green. Actually, we should have saved
That
it
was
for the green
made
room.
2-3 hours ago.
Damn it.
Well, pour it back in.
Yeah, pour it back in. Can you do it?
No. I'm gonna drink it.
You drink it, but I'm just saying we'll pour that
I'm
back
worried
in.
the glass is gonna break.
Oh my God, it's hot as shit.
Yeah, it's literally
can't
like
pick
it's
it
lava. The floor is lava.
God.
All right, so when I Googled holiday cocktails, I got a list of drinks I've never ever heard of for the most part, and
Yeah.
so I didn't want to like be the
There was
guy.
a
I was like,
ton.
oh, I
We've
had
got my 4 favorite right now.
I have the Rumpel whatever that was called.
I got a couple more.
All right, so
Yeah, we got a couple more.
so if I can't have a straight glass of Irish whiskey with Harry Wilson written on it, I will gladly, and I really want to stay in the spirit, and I want to,
Harry.
yeah, I'm gonna go with the not the Almond Joy or the candy necklace. I'm gonna go with, how about this?
The suspense is killing me.
So Harry.
So Harry, where is it? Oh my goodness gracious!
I don't know, but our listeners are loving our blue screen.
Megan had a nickel.
Espresso martini.
Yep. Delish.
I think that
Delicious.
it's one of the it's delicious,
They are
and
delicious.
it's also a very classy way to ingest
Quite nutritious.
a high alcohol content beverage. There people would be like, if you were just to order the vodka that's in this drink and slug it, people were like, hey, who's the Neanderthal drinking,
Espresso.
vodka over? But if you have a
Neanderthal.
if you order an espresso martini, you're
Yeah.
like, hey,
Right.
who's the classy guy chugging that espresso martini?
Is he going to eat those 3 beans or what? Pardon me, sir. You can eat those?
I'm not going to eat them. I've as an Italian, at the end of meals, you throw a couple coffee beans and some frangelica. I get it, but it's not pleasant. It's a superstition thing. You have a couple for good fortune, and I never understood it. I always thought that was what Brussels sprouts were for.
All right. Well, you went from the wonderful world of whiskey to being an espresso man.
What do you got?
I'm going to go from Irish coffee and stick in the same family. And I know it might not be culturally appropriate, but the Irish car bomb this time of year, guys.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm a big fan.
pull.
I can. Back in the day, as fast as you can turn them down. But I liked them. I liked.
They're
that.
tasty.
They taste good.
All right, so
You got plenty of Irish whiskey
as a
in ya.
professional bartender, someone says I would like an Irish car bomb. You're not being slammed. It's not St.
Right,
Patrick's Day.
right.
How are you making it?
I am going to
Mm-hmm.
Bailey's, a little more whiskey than Bailey's
In a shot glass.
in a shot glass.
Yes.
Now many places will not do that again.
And I'll
but-
give you the plastic.
But I'm not taking another plastic straw and doinking it down like a buoy
Mm-hmm.
out there. Like, hey, get in there, you little sucker. No. I watch my uncles do Boilermakers.
Because
I watch,
the glass breaks.
Exactly.
I see.
does.
But it doesn't have to if you have any form of athleticism whatsoever, or if you've ever drank anything successfully. But
I'm a
Act like you've been
quadriplegic
there,
and I've never
people.
broken a glass.
exactly. You have. I was going to say you have a way better chance than most people I've served these to. Just one, let her rip, and 2/3 of a Guinness, and then honestly open up the throat, pour it, and put it back down, and collect your 20 from the gentleman that has been yelling at you the entirety of the evening.
Yes.
Yes.
It's.
It's pickling season. It's the right time of year for this. Now you can only do 2, maybe 3 in a 6-hour span.
Yeah.
Now that's not based on how drunk you're going to get.
No.
That's the spasmic colon syndrome.
Yes, and also the thing that makes me upset is, I shouldn't say upset, as a lover of Jameson, when they just do it with whiskey and Guinness with no Baileys.
No, it tastes delicious.
You gotta have the Baileys.
Yes.
You gotta have the
I don't
Baileys.
care if you like it or don't or whatever. I like that drink.
You gotta have the
So,
Baileys,
Right.
and it's delicious.
It's delicious.
That's the best
it's
part about
Guinness.
that.
It's good for you.
Of all the things you can do as a college kid, you're going out to you're ingesting it quickly. I mean, all the things that people are like, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. An Irish car bomb, setting aside the violent name, is one of
It's
the
ridiculous.
most delightful beverages you can consume. With your friends in over the course of an evening. It does. It hits
over
every
the holidays.
Over the holidays, it does all the things you wanted to do. It tastes great. It's a great mood setter. It's exciting. It's teamwork.
Mood setter?
F yeah, dude, for sure. Come on, if
crushed.
you're chugging anything,
Eugene, watch out
I
for
know,
the car
Eugene.
bump. Watch out for the car bump trick.
Don't take your eye off your glass either. Just
Don't
keep the glass
do
in
it.
your hand.
I love.
times.
Give me your break down the mind. I'm a mind
Mike.
eraser guy. So how are you making a mind? If I come with you, I give you mind eraser.
It's the worst drink of all time.
I understand, but
How did we go from?
I'm just
Irish
asking him.
car
It's
bump
just,
In a rocks glass. I'm going
Yes.
to fill that glass.
A rocks glass? I want a pint glass. Make it a pint
Yeah, well,
glass.
either way, the rocks glass and the pint glass can be the same exact. Can be 12 ounces, both of them.
Okay.
They will be filled all the way up, and you will put a heavy amount. It's a shot of vodka and a shot of Kahlua, topped off with soda water, and you're supposed to just imbibe it with 2 straws as fast as you can without any oxygen.
Correct.
It's essentially you're doing a shot of vodka with a side of soda water and coffee
And
liqueur.
Kahlua, which I love.
The Kahlua is delicious. I'm not
Kahlua
gonna
is
lie,
delicious.
but the mind eraser, like back, I remember in college, like I'm going down. Now I'm like, it's a shot of vodka with a bunch of yay.
Yeah.
It's good though. But no, I'm not doing a mind eraser. I haven't done one of those since I was 19 years old, I would guess. I don't mean that in a
would
bad
you?
way. Because
It's not just
we
a
were
thing you
given
do
them
once.
at front page
Yeah.
if you were like part of a crew.
No. Now,
Yeah.
why would you?
Right, yeah, you know.
Other than
First
for
of all, nostalgia.
Nostalgia is
Jinx.
fair.
Nostalgia.
Or if Ken's going out with Eugene Chen.
I'll tell you right now, Megan and I
Dude, we're gonna
could put down
this is gonna
3
be a
or
tough one
4
to get off
plus.
of.
Our over under on a given night of mind erasers was probably 3.5. In addition
So
to
what you're saying is she looked across the bar, you look back, and she was like,
let's go.
2 mind erasers, please.
Yes. Listen.
And keep them coming, Jimmy.
But
Megan's
by the way,
getting after it
keep them
tonight.
coming for life. I'm
will
gonna
say
really
this.
need to forget about everything that's happening from here on
I
forward.
think she's doing
Kevin-
great now.
Thank you.
Kevin is
Still
a great
great now.
bartender.
Yes, he is. That's why I'm
He's a
asking this
great
question.
bartender. He's a fantastic bartender. He's very professional. He'll make any shot for you, but do not ask him for an Alabama Slammer, please.
Why?
I don't know. Somebody once did it, and
There's
and
7.
I've
At that
never
point,
seen
there's 7 ingredients in 1 cup this
I've
big.
never seen such.
I'm asking you.
And your hands are like, you're like,
If there's a cup this big that gets 7 ingredients in there,
he's like, all right, I'm gonna chop him. He's
Can I tell the
chopping,
story?
and he's,
Can I tell the story?
what do you got?
I guess so.
I mean, can I tell it?
I don't really
I don't
remember.
know why you ever said it, but it was the most funniest thing that's ever come out of your mouth. Rich Eisen shows up at the Tommy Joe's, the old Tommy Joe's, and Poho, who's the owner, for some reason comes gets me. Like the guy wants to hang out with me for some reason, right? So
Of course, he's rich.
Rich
Eisen.
He brings over the local handicap guy to come talk to Rich Eisen, right?
We got a local handicap guy.
This
over in
guy's
the
our
corner.
most recent quadriplegic. This guy works at ESPN.
Exactly.
You're not gonna believe this, but you're both here on the same night. It's kind of unbelievable.
That's how it started. Then he thinks it's a great idea to bring Kevin over.
You're not gonna believe this.
I've been drinking, sir.
So Poho says, let's do shots. Everybody, you want a shot? You want a shot? I'm like, yeah, sure. I do Grand Marnier. I mean, Kevin
I
knew
hate
that.
Grand Marnier.
Kevin knew that, right? And it's just taking 1 bottle and pouring it, and all of a sudden, Jason just goes, oh. Can I have an Alabama Slammer? Kevin looks at him dead in the eye and goes, okay, I'm going to go behind the bar and pinch my nipples and make this. I'll be right back. I was like, why would he say that?
Because he just chugged Grand Marnier
I
and
look at Rick
classic
Eisen
Ricca
looks
line.
at me like, why do you say that? I'm like, I don't know why he said that, but your Alabama Slammer will be back. So
When weird people say weird shit to me,
don't
I
ever
feel
order
the need to
an
say
Alabama
something
Slammer
strange.
from Kevin Ricca. Because I don't
Or
want to see
do.
him pinching his nipples.
Oh, he was hiding in the corner
I
at
didn't
an
know
empty
pinching
bar.
your
I was
nipples
like,
was a part
come
of
here.
making
He was like looking around. I was like, there's no one here. Like,
Man, it was too funny.
By the way, Rich, I said no one wants your autograph here. I
Nobody.
promise. It's
Nobody
happy hour.
does.
It's rainy outside. But yes.
it was so
Oh, yeah,
good.
I'll be right back, Rich. Let me get you an Alabama Flammer.
I don't even know what that is.
Ken, it's like
I don't
a
even care. It
mixture.
doesn't
I
It's
never
matter.
felt
I don't-
so
it's like
awkward and bad. for
5
somebody
different
as one
liqueur, like
time.
it's like fruit, juice, sour mix, Sprite, freaking every type of liqueur,
And it's terrible.
anything.
And
But you would
weak.
make a mind racer before an Alabama Slammer.
Mind Racer's 3 ingredients. This is 6 ingredients into one thing like this, and I got
That's
the
gonna
owner
be
wants
high
me to go make
maintenance.
that for the
Oh,
guy.
God, it was
So you,
hilarious.
so you just what you do when the kids order that back in the day, you make something pink or red, and you put a bunch of them out there, and you go and everyone do 1, 2, 3, yay! And then you collect money from one of those gentlemen.
Yes.
That's all you need to do.
I love the important part of the story for everyone who's paying attention is he's a businessman, and you have you know what's happening out there, and that guy who wants that Irish car bomb, he's going to pay for yours.
I'm the nice
and a couple
guy.
of, yeah, I know you are.
Some of you guys out there that have ordered the Alabama Slammer, you have drank boogers. Just going to tell you straight up, right here, right now. You've eaten a booger before.
Burger Slammer.
And nipple juice, apparently.
Well, it is. I mean,
What I
it
meant
stirred
was,
it.
sure, Rich. Like, let me get the other 12 sorority sisters, and we'll all come over with yours.
So I don't think we're having Rich on either. So
No, we're out. We are having Eugene on. Eugene loves Alabama Slammers. It's gonna be great. All right, so where are we?
We
in
keep saying this
I
man's
I think
name.
it's me, and I think it's appropriate.
Wait,
because
are you sure
speaking
it's
of,
you?
Yeah, didn't you just do?
No, I've only drafted.
No,
I
you
haven't
just
gone
did-
on my pick yet.
Yeah, it's his. Go.
I've only taken. We got stuck after I just went with.
Who
He's
did
getting- he's
Irish
going back to
Car
back.
Bomb? Oh,
Me.
you did the Irish Car
And now
Bomb.
I'm up.
And then he
Yeah,
started
this is the
asking
last
about
round.
shots.
Last round
And
coming
I'm
back to you.
All
to
right,
finish
last
it up.
round. Sorry, and I'm going.
getting
I'm going old school. Old school. And this is my nana's, my great grandmother's, my grandmother's. I remember all of it. Christmas punch. I don't care how you do it. Vodka was always the basis of it, but some years they had that frozen thing of punch. So then you pour ginger ale or Sprite on it.
Yeah.
Some years it was a fruit punch or the concoction. But I know this: there's a big old crystal bowl with a ladle and a bunch of little teeny looking crystal teacups.
Yes.
And good. They were delicious when you were like 18, 19. Now I can't stomach more than one.
Yeah.
But my cousin makes them, and he makes them. My brother-in-law makes them, and he makes it old school whiskey punch, and it is spectacular.
Oh, that's
Christmas punch, man.
Well, I think again, you came. You come. You're from this area. You're from Kensington, the area.
Are you kidding me?
If Kensington was a continent, he'd be from here.
Yes.
If it was a street, he'd be from here.
Yes.
His family-
I'm OG K-Town, bro.
I'm just saying.
if you ever hear a zap noise, it's one of his brothers trying to get out of Kensington to go to like Bethesda or something. There's an invisible shield. They're not allowed out of here.
That was the most offensive thing that you've ever said to me on this show.
Because what I'm saying is where I'm from, and I think also where Kevin's from, is like a way more spread out country, laid back, old school spot. We called it kickapoo or hoochakoo, or the everyone had their own mix.
I'm so glad I grew up
You would have
here.
a 2-liter bottle of
I'm
Sprite.
not from either of these places.
No.
I'm not from Coochapoo.
We would have freezers full of homemade
Cookaboo.
2-liter bottles of frozen. What you would put
punch?
Yeah, what you would put in the bottle, and then you would
Hopskip
pour
to go naked. The whole.
all hopscotch,
all of it,
all
yeah,
of it. Oh,
right.
everyone had their own version of that, but it was a big punch bowl. Someone would bring their, and you would literally you'd cut off the top of the 7-Up bottle, and then you would put the big frozen log in the punch bowl, and you would pour ginger ale or 7-Up or whatever over it, and wait for 10 minutes, and everyone would get freaking hammered off of it. And I mean, and then people were known for like their brand. And Mr. Hoff, he was not watching tonight, but Mr. Hoff, who was the pitcher for the softball team I played on in college, and that's what we had after games. There was 2 things people drank: cold beer and kickapoo juice. And the kickapoo juice was just the
Kickapoo
most
juice.
strongest whiskey punch you could possibly imagine. I was like 19, 20 years old, pulling back on these frozen whiskey punch drinks, and it was the greatest thing ever. Again, that's what we live for. A doubleheader of softball. And
your journal entry: Kickapoo with the Hoff.
Come on, I mean it was
1-2 tonight.
Dude, that
it was-
caramel is
it's so good.
unbelievable.
The store made it for us. We talked about it. T got me nervous they were going to outsell it. I've never heard of Kickapoo, but when you said
It's just everyone had
your
their own version of
punch,
it. Yeah,
yes,
I mean,
yes.
everyone had like a name
Exactly.
for it. Whatever.
My great grandmother had her own version of some.
I mean, is it much different?
old
than what
Irish German punch?
Is it much different than what Charles Woolridge would bring to McCarthy's house back in the day?
Well, he had
Gin and
Seagram's gin and a big old thing of Tropicana orange juice. So
Little
I
different.
guess not.
No, it was
sort of.
It was the gallon bug juice.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
what it was.
The bug juice.
Bug
He did
juice,
like the
bug juice. All
Hop,
these
skip,
things.
and go naked made me do all three.
So,
yeah.
I can't remember a time when I was like that was a singular type of drunk. So for hop, skip, and go naked, our recipe was,
Everclear,
yeah,
Mountain Dew.
well, we did
that sounds
the
great.
frozen lime,
Delicious.
like
Take your-
frozen limeade
Your balls ass naked at 2:15
and beer.
in the afternoon.
and beer.
Yeah, and beer.
Can
And
I
beer.
do
You would
that?
put like
beer.
a you
I'm
put
gonna
a
do
beer
that
in it.
tomorrow.
But the Everclear was that was definitely the go naked part.
And I can't recall a time when like
I guess the skip part too. I'm not a big skipper.
Pat Mitchell made the best hop, skip, and go nakeds in my lifetime. He had a great and
His parents must be proud.
his parents are super proud. But I think the key was I think the beer it's got to be like a cheap, like good tasting beer.
Well,
It's not you're not
we
putting like
used what we used in high school and college.
Sure.
And we all know what those were.
Yeah.
And that's what we used.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's best was the Premier.
Yeah. I think we
but,
used like
we might have had
PBR
like,
or-
we might have had like a light beer.
Natty
once.
Bow.
Yeah, we might have had something.
something like that.
Natural light was a big deal too.
Busch Light was my favorite.
Yeah, I like Bush too.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Head for the mount. It was the Subaru and Bush at the Caps and Wizards game or Bullets games. All you got was the Subaru and Bush. The whole those were the commercials.
Yeah.
The whole entire 80s. Those were the
It
two
was
biggest.
head for the mountains of
Head for
Busch.
everything. Head for. Oh my God! I was like,
I didn't even know there was another beer for years. I was like, why are we?
I
even-
did Bush Light.
Yeah,
because
well,
my
Busch-
dad was like, I don't get Bush Light. My mom
Sorry.
was like, I don't get Bush Light. And I was like,
I only drank Busch Light for probably 10 to 12 years.
So-
Bush Light takes me right back.
it was
to
my Bush Light that was in the
early
fridge. I was
90s.
like, why would-
Oh, sorry.
my sister
Sorry.
put the Bush Light in the fridge after we had a party. Like,
Yeah.
she thinks she was the original troll. She knew smart stuff like that. Like, I'm gonna put this beer in there in 4 days. He'll be in big trouble.
Chrissy or Jamie? Are we calling people out?
Jamie,
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
sorry.
100% calling everybody out.
Yeah,
It's
gotta do
holiday
it.
season.
It's holiday season.
It's airing of grievances on our next show. We
the
might as well start warming this shit up.
pre-airing. PAG. PAG. All right. So I guess I get the last pick. I don't
What
know.
are you talking about?
No. I get my last pick because
Oh,
it
are
comes
we doing
back
You each have
from
one
me.
pick left.
Yeah.
One pick left.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's get
I'm
the
done.
espresso martini out of there. Oh goodness gracious! What is this one? That's just grandma's hard candy. We don't want that.
Oh, no, that's awesome.
Fun. You want some Fun Dots tea? I know you love Fun Dots.
That's
No?
T's underwear drawer, sir.
How about
I meant
just-
the first one, not the second one.
let's just go with a mule, a winter mule.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. I have it on my sheet.
it's-
Can I put a little,
Holiday spin on it.
yeah.
Do it.
How about a Sambuca mule?
Well, that's an Italian. That's an Iberian Peninsula
it's
spin.
the black licorice part, though, that makes me
I'm not a
feel
black
like it's-
licorice guy.
I am.
I mean, I
love
only.
it.
Dude,
I
how
would
do you
actually
like all
love
these flavors?
I would actually love straight up Sambuca shots.
How are your
But if
taste
you made
buds
it a
from the
cocktail,
1400s?
I would want a Sambuca mule.
I only see licorice personally, but I understand why people say black licorice. But
You like black licorice? I think
I think it's the
liked
worst
it.
flavor. I think it's the worst flavor.
It's the only thing that I
love it.
smack my tongue to. I'm like,
Oh, I love Sambuca shots. Are you kidding me?
so Frankie Gilmore, God rest his soul,
Love them.
he
Not
made me
after
do
my-
it. First of all, when you're pouring as a bartender, it takes it's like watching the old brother do the loogie trick to the little brother. It takes an hour for him to get out of the goddamn bottle, get into the shot glass.
Buddy the Elf.
It does
would
the same
love some
thing from your
Sambuca.
mouth to your butt. Same thing. It's a slow, negative.
My
Love it.
18th
I
birthday
get
was
it.
the last
I get
time
it.
for me.
I get that you like
So
it.
over.
It's just not a good product for this stool.
Pete Timmons, Mr. Timmons, who I used to do Sambuca with after Maryland games. Salute.
All right, salute. I respect that. I love tradition. I hate black licorice.
It's like a black licorice loogie.
All right, it's coming down to two
Yeah.
for the last pick, but
I don't know if I'm probably not going to have it.
only because I've had it more than the second one. I'm gonna
Okay.
go with the frozen mudslide, the adult milkshake.
All right, so I had a picture of that, and I thought you guys were going to make fun of me for putting it on, so I
It's the
didn't do
adult
it.
Milkshake. It's so delicious.
I order that year round. I love it. I think
but it's
I
holiday
celebrated
dessert.
its entire catalog. I mean,
You want to keep drinking and have dessert? Have a frozen mudslide.
yeah.
You want to dress like an elf and Tie one on
I mean,
on
you wanna
Christmas Eve.
put on
yeah.
if you want to
Fuck
put on
yeah.
a onesie and get freaky on the patio, let's do it. I mean, come
Let's
on.
go, bro.
You just sit in the bathroom while your mother-in-law takes a dump.
Well, my
Hey, wait a
backup,
minute.
Wait a second.
the backup was the
We
White
can edit that in
Russian.
post.
The backup was the White Russian. Speaking of Kahlua, so I just don't like.
I
Kahlua
only
White
see
Russian.
Russians. I only see Russians,
I know.
not white. But that's just how I was raised.
First of all, White Russians and Black Russians are both delicious for one. And then you're like, all right, if I add any more alcohol and milk into my system at the same time,
It's delicious.
my system's
is.
like,
It's delicious.
all right, we've got milk in here.
Yeah,
It's snowy looking.
we've already done.
it's-
We have a lot. We have enough Baileys in the system
I think
already.
it's fucking around the liver with the alcohol. I'm not sure, but I'm hearing whispers. That's going to be terrible for the anus. You're going to have to send an email.
Does the board? Are they shocked that none of us picked eggnog?
Oh yeah,
How
yeah.
can they? It's the last term we've said this. I said this 6 years ago in this very basement. Anything called nog should not go into my mouth.
I'm a
And
nog
we
guy.
didn't actually drink nog. That wasn't nog. That was
Irish cream.
It was Irish cream.
No, I make it now.
So I still have never had nog.
No, you know
Limoncello
what?
by Ken Harris.
never had-
Limoncello is spectacular, and I want to make it at home.
Limoncello is great.
I want to do it at home by myself. I almost did it
There
last
is a
weekend. I
there
might
is
do
a
it next
twist
weekend.
on.
I want to do it.
I'll
I'll
give you a
some.
bottle.
100,000%.
Well, it's
There's
full
a
of bottle.
twist on the eggnog,
Yeah.
and it's called the Cousin Eddie. I read
Well,
this
but
today.
hold on. All I can say is I love eggnog because it's a whiskey based drink when it's done the right way. And I will drink the shit out of it and come what may. Let the chips fall in the air.
Salmonella. Do we all, like I do, just figure the whiskey kills it?
Yeah.
Because like Rocky was chugging those eggs, and I'm like, I don't think you should chug eggs anymore in this day and age. And now people are still
But
chugging
you can buy a
eggs.
bottle of Evan Williams eggnog.
Yeah, but if you're gonna nog
don't-
it, it's got to be someone's grandma or great aunt.
They're
You just have
their own
nog
formula.
from a young person or from a store.
nog
It has
does
to be
not
a gr-
sound good.
No, you have to be a grandmother. You have to wear pantyhose above your belly button, or at a minimum,
I'm drinking eggnog, and I'm drinking it. And I'm no longer.
how much eggnog can one take?
So I'm no longer
It's almost like eating eggnog.
ever drinking
Leslie can drink the whole gallon, the whole thing.
alcohol-free eggnog. I will never
gross.
have a glass of eggnog that doesn't
I'll
have
say it's
alcohol
gross,
in it
and
for
it's
the rest of
never
my life.
been in my body ever. Never,
Eggnog?
never, no, never.
Oh, I've tried
That's
it.
a mistake.
Nope.
That's
It's
a mistake.
thick. It's a thick.
You know
It's
what
a
you
mouthful.
Can, you know what you can do? You can put it on
Nom,
ice.
nom,
If you put it on ice,
You can
it's-
chew it.
It's interesting on ice.
It's like jerky.
It's not like if you get a good nog on ice.
There's not a good nog. Do you hear that? If
It
you get a
is.
good,
It is.
I'll have your best nog. Like that just sounds like a terrible thing. I've said this forever. Nog. Whoever they ruined it when they named
It
it.
rhymes with log,
I know,
and that just doesn't. It's not pleasing.
But I'm just saying.
And hog.
and hog. It also rhymes. It does. I mean, it rhymes with all those things. But I just like whiskey drinks, and therefore I like eggnog. But I didn't pick it in my top things because I do appreciate Irish coffee is clear and away the number one of all time. I think we would all agree it deserves its place at the top. And and listen, I had in the green room, I had called right away the glass of whiskey, and I said, "Hey, listen, I'm making you my first round pick. Just a glass of whiskey. A glass of whiskey. Come on."
Yeah, I get it. I'm not going to argue.
But
with
Irish
you.
coffee
I'm
is
not
the
gonna
best.
go-
You have that
No, no,
every
no.
Tuesday.
And also,
Tuesday.
you make your own Irish cream, which
Well,
is
yes.
amazing.
Well, it's because Bailey's cost about $1,400 these days, and I was like, "Is it really that?" And it's not. It's ridiculous. Now, also, if you don't want to make it yourself at home, St. Brendan's and what's the other brand? They're about 1/3 the cost of Bailey's, and they're spectacular. There's nothing wrong with them, unless, like the shit I make at home is done after a week or two. I mean, I'll go like 10 to 14 days.
Yeah.
I don't understand how my grandmother had a Bailey's bottle that my dad and I took a little nip off of like 5 years in a row. I was like, this shit's got milky stuff in it? Or-
Yeah, you gotta get it.
Is anyone ever going to explain this to me?
Get it out of here.
What is it?
I don't know.
How does it sit in a dusty ass?
Kahlua as well, for that
I
matter.
know. What the hell are they
don't
doing?
know.
How are they sitting in there not like turning into ass?
Because they're from they're not from this country. I think things that are made outside of this country are made better in terms of milky alcohol.
That doesn't turn to ass?
It doesn't turn to ass. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know.
Brady's. That's Greg Martin's right. So Brady's over St. Brendan's. Brady's is delicious, and but at the
What is
holiday time,
Brady's?
It's a knockoff of
Bailey's?
which
Okay.
Bailey's is like the Disney of Irish cream. It's a joke. It's a
best.
criminal empire. No, but
It
it's
is.
It's an outrage. I'm telling you right now.
I'm buying
you get a little,
Ricca's.
You get no, but
I'll take more of that.
they're so good when you do it at your home. And honestly, it's very
wanna
simple.
finish that?
Very
Well,
very
it's going to
simple.
cool down the other part that you.
I understand. Say, just warm that up because we're gonna be out of this, and I want to save. I want to have some warm stuff for the green room. Listen, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. December is an awesome time. I know the team is not getting wins. I know it's not the most fun Sunday experience, but guess what? We're in a building process. It is the year 1 AD. 1. It's the first. The journey starts here. Everything starts here. It is wasn't guaranteed to us to be anything less than rocky, and that's what we're getting. The cool thing is we get to watch how it plays out. We think that the decisions that are about to be made are going to be made in the best interest of the long term of this organization, and let's just take it as it comes on a week by week basis. Let's enjoy the fact that we get to watch our team wearing our jersey on Sundays for 4 more weeks, and then for the first time in the history of the last 20 plus years, since the 1900s, we will truly get to look at an off season in the face and get excited about it going down in a way that isn't the most asinine, ass backwards possible way possible with a captain
Turd burglar.
Captain Pickle Feet?
Captain Pickle Feet.
Pickle feet.
I've been so good. I don't have to put
Got those little
any dollars in the
gherkins,
jar this
those little
week.
sweet baby gherkins.
I hear you.
The gherkins. He's Tim Strachan.
It's been fun. Let's keep it going, even though it's it's not the season we thought it was, but I'm having fun with you guys, and let's do it again next week.
Kevin Ricca.
It's the season I thought it was. Pickling season.
It's pickling season.
Been fun to do with you guys tonight. Let's keep it rolling.
Next week, it's the airing of grievances. Festivus is truly upon us. Listen, we know our audience. We're Seinfeld folks. But at the same time, we're going to come up with themed rounds. Every single round is going to have its own theme. Anyone who shows up next week is going to be in the running to pick in the airing of grievances draft. Hope you hang out with us. One last show before Christmas. We'll be back after that show. We'll be back after New Year's. And we'll be ready to talk about the direction of this show. Andrew B., we love you too. Greg
Yes,
Martin, we
my
appreciate
brother.
you. All you guys coming out and hanging out with us. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. If you haven't already given us a thumbs up, please do. It's an easy click. It's
For Christmas,
for Christmas. What do you got?
somebody the gift of First Amendment Sports.
Oh, wow. What happened there?
I don't know. But give the gift of First Amendment Sports. Tell a friend. Bring them along.
Oh, I thought you were saying to forward the picture of
No,
Ken and Eugene as Elf and
Yes,
Santa. I'm
yes.
sorry.
Make it happen. If
Share
you know,
it.
if you
Share it.
if you know anyone who knows
Sharing is
anyone in
caring.
the Eugene Chen family, obviously
Yeah.
introduce us. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you in 7 days from now. On behalf of First Amendment Sports and the official Washington Commanders podcast of Hogs Haven and First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Meringolo. This was Thank God It's Tuesday. We are still live. We're still live.
Still alive.
Greg Martin, where's
What's
he
up
at?
with you pouring
this
me
is
a
going to
triple
get to
shot
Eugene.
of?
I know.
Do you know how much whiskey I just drank?
I know. Me too.
Eugene's going to get wind of this.
I sat right there with you.
He is. I'm convinced.
If Eugene gets wind off that's his benefit, not ours.
I got no problems with any of you people. I love you all. We'll see you. Hit the thumbs up. Muffy Christmas. There it is.
Christmas. What? You just want to say muff.
We didn't talk about Muff at all.
That's because, yes. Can you imagine if we combined the two? It'd be like Kelsey and Swift.
It would be Kelsey
Muff,
and Swift.
If Eugene Chen's Muff made a guest appearance on our Tuesday.
Shenny Muff. Muffy Shen.
No. You're not allowed to say that. Someone else has to make the joke there.
Cut.
No. Ken. How could you?
Sorry,
How could you?
Muff Gene Shen.